This inner journey is essential for their personal growth and self-discovery. The isolation they experience, though painful, is fertile ground for developing a stronger connection with their inner strength and God's guidance. It teaches them not to rely on external recognition or support, but to rely on God's steadfast presence within them. Consider the life of a missionary who travels to distant lands, spreading the word of God. They may be surrounded by many people but still feel lonely because their spiritual mission and depth set them apart. This enforced isolation can be a painful experience but also an opportunity for growth. Dear friends, have you ever felt like you're walking through life completely alone, no friends, no relationships, just you and your thoughts? If so, you're not the only one. In today's video, we're going to dive deep into why the chosen ones, like you, often experience isolation. I'll share a personal story about how loneliness shaped my path and what it taught me about my true purpose. Trust me, by the end of this video, you'll see that your isolation is not a curse, but a blessing in disguise, leading you to profound growth and inner strength. If you're ready to uncover the powerful lessons behind your solitude and use them to transform your life, stay tuned. And don't forget to like, share, and subscribe for more insights like these. Let's get started. Reason 1: energy drain from surrounding people. One of the most profound reasons why chosen ones often feel lonely is due to the energy drained from those around them. When you are chosen by God, you carry within you a special and powerful energy, a divine light emanating from your faith and inner strength. This energy is not only a manifestation of your inner strength and faith, but also a beacon that attracts people around you. However, this very attraction can lead to a deep sense of loneliness. Many wonder why someone so radiant and full of life feels isolated. The answer lies in the nature of the energy you possess and the interactions it creates. Your energy is a gift from God, a testament to your purpose and mission. This energy helps you inspire, heal, and guide others. However, it also attracts those who want to draw from it, whether consciously or unconsciously. Like moths drawn to a flame, people are attracted to your light, often seeking comfort, guidance, or simply warmth from your presence. This can be both a blessing and a burden. While you provide much-needed support to others, it can leave you feeling tired and drained. In the book of Mark, chapter 5, we find the story of Jesus and the woman with the issue of blood. The woman had suffered for 12 years and had tried everything to be healed. Hearing about Jesus, she believed that merely touching his clothes would heal her. She did so and immediately felt healing power flow into her. Jesus, realizing that power had gone out from him, turned around and asked, "Who touched my clothes?" As a chosen one, you may encounter similar situations. People come to you with their troubles, pains, and needs, hoping to find relief in your presence. While it is a divine mission to help others, this can also make you feel exhausted and lonely. These moments are when you need to seek peace and recharge from God. To maintain a healthy relationship, it is essential to have people on the same vibrational frequency as you. These individuals not only understand and empathize with you, but can also complement and enhance your energy. A balanced relationship is where both parties feel uplifted and inspired by each other. Finding someone with the same vibrational frequency is not always easy. This may be why chosen ones often feel lonely. They need relationships that are not just energy exchanges, but deep soul and spiritual connections. These relationships often require patience and faith in God, believing that He will guide and bring the right people into your life. Remember, God is always with you, supporting and loving you. When you feel drained, turn to God through prayer and meditation. He will help you find strength and continue your mission. The loneliness you feel is not abandonment, but a time for you to recharge and connect more deeply with God. Trust in His plan and continue to shine as a light in this world. Reason 2: the need for inner healing of the chosen ones. Dear friends, we often carry deep wounds that each of us has experienced. These wounds usually stem from past experiences in childhood traumas: an abandoned child, a betrayed youth, a deceived adult. All these leave scars that are not visible to the eye, but are more painful than any physical wound. We can hide them, but they never disappear. They affect how we perceive the world, interact with others, and even how we view ourselves. The sensitivity to these deep wounds increases their need for a safe and secure environment for healing, a place where they can find peace and tranquility, where no one else can hurt them again. It is in this loneliness that God creates a sacred space for them to hear His voice, find His comfort, and receive His guidance. Think of Joseph when sold into slavery by his brothers and abandoned. Joseph experienced extreme loneliness and pain, but it was during this time that God worked in his heart, healing his wounds and preparing him for a greater mission. So embrace loneliness as a gift from God. Let Him work in your heart, heal your deep wounds, and prepare you for a greater mission. And remember, you are never truly alone, for God is always with you, loving and protecting you. Reason 3: the chosen ones possess a spiritual and emotional depth that most people cannot reach or understand. Chosen ones often serve as a light in the darkness for many people. They provide guidance, support, and inspiration to those in need, acting as beacons of hope and wisdom. However, when it comes to receiving help, the situation is quite different. They often need to seek strength and motivation from within, because few people can provide the same level of support and understanding they offer to others. This leads to a lonely journey, even when success is near and their skills are recognized. This inner journey is essential for their personal growth and self-discovery. The isolation they experience, though painful, is fertile ground for developing a stronger connection with their inner strength and God's guidance. It teaches them not to rely on external recognition or support, but to rely on God's steadfast presence within them. Consider the life of a missionary who travels to distant lands, spreading the word of God. They may be surrounded by many people, but still feel lonely because their spiritual mission and depth set them apart. This enforced isolation can be a painful experience, but also an opportunity for growth. Chosen ones learn to trust in their inner strength and seek out other enlightened souls who can provide the same quality of support and guidance they need. Finding such deep and meaningful connections takes time, but it is essential for their happiness and spiritual evolution. The path to finding these deep and meaningful connections is not easy. It requires patience, perseverance, and unwavering faith in God's plan. Many chosen ones prefer to be alone until they meet those who can truly help and understand them on a deeper level. These relationships, when formed, are based on mutual spiritual understanding and support. Reason 4: to completely trust in God. Sometimes God gives us loyal friends with whom we can share every joy and sorrow. We often spend much time together, helping and comforting each other through difficulties. However, there are times when we become too dependent on friends, causing our relationship with God to fade. Instead of relying on God, we turn to friends for comfort and advice. It's understandable when we spend more time with friends than with God. Talking with friends and listening to their advice seems easier and quicker than patiently waiting for God's guidance through studying the Bible and praying. The physical presence and immediate advice from friends satisfy our immediate need for answers, but sometimes God may allow earthly relationships to temporarily distance so that we can learn to seek and rely on Him, our most faithful and reliable friend. Just like Job in the Bible, a man of integrity and fear of God, he faced the harshest trials. He lost all his possessions, children, and health, but throughout it all, he did not seek help from people but relied entirely on God. Although Job's friends came to comfort him, they only offered unhelpful advice and sometimes added to his suffering. Job cried out to God in his misery, and God answered him, granting him deep understanding of His power and love. Ultimately, God restored everything Job had lost and blessed him twice over. Dear friends, sometimes God places us in situations where human help becomes useless to make us realize that only God is the true source of salvation. The chosen ones may experience loneliness as part of their faith journey, helping them see that faith in God is the most important thing. Community and friendship are blessings, but they cannot replace a personal relationship with God. The chosen ones understand that human help is temporary and imperfect. They are led by God through periods of loneliness to realize that He is always present and is the only source of salvation. Loneliness helps them discover true peace and joy when they completely rely on God. Reason 5 to prepare for future roles. Dear friends, when we look at the lives of chosen ones, it's not difficult to see that they often go through periods of loneliness and separation. One reason for this is the preparation for a promising future and higher purpose that God has destined for them. God never leaves us alone without a purpose. Like Joseph, the chosen ones today may feel isolated and without friends or relationships, but never forget that this loneliness is not an end but a beginning. It is a time for you to focus on self-development, strengthening your faith, and preparing for the greater things God has planned. Consider the life of David, who later became the king of Israel. Before ascending to the throne, David had to endure years of fleeing from Saul, living in caves, and facing many hardships. But during these times, David learned to completely depend on God, and from there he became a compassionate and faithful king. As written in Psalm 23:4, David said, "Even though I walk through the valley of the shadow of death, I will fear no evil, for you are with me." In your spiritual journey, you may feel pressure from society, family, or yourself to have a life like everyone else, full of friends, relationships, and success. But remember, God has a unique plan for each person. Not everyone is called to follow the easy and common path. Some are chosen to walk a distinct path, where they will shine in roles only they can fulfill. Loneliness is an opportunity for you to prepare for the great challenges ahead. When you look back, you will realize that it was during those lonely times that you became the person God intended you to be, ready to face any obstacles with confidence and faith. Reason 6 to become stronger mentally and spiritually. Loneliness can be extremely painful, but it is also the time when the chosen ones learn to be mentally and spiritually strong. Just as physical strength requires exercise and endurance, spiritual strength also requires challenges and tests. This is when God teaches the chosen ones valuable lessons in patience, perseverance, and humility. The path to becoming spiritually strong is not an easy one, and it often involves walking through valleys of isolation. The chosen ones are called to withstand loneliness, not as a punishment but as a test of faith. These times are when the chosen ones are shaped and prepared for their greater purpose. In the Bible, the prophet Elijah fled into the wilderness to escape persecution. Alone and fearful, he prayed for God to take his life. But God had other plans for him. In Elijah's solitude, God provided comfort and strength through an angel who ministered to him. Similarly, during your lonely moments, God will provide you with strength, whether through His Word, the Holy Spirit, or those divinely appointed to help you. Solitude helps you deepen your relationship with God and understand His ways more profoundly. Through prayer and meditation, you will be strengthened spiritually and discover a peace that surpasses all understanding. Reason 7: protection from negative influences. Finally, dear friends, one of the most important reasons why the chosen ones are often alone is God's desire to protect them from negative influences. In our modern world, negative energies, harmful relationships, and toxic environments are everywhere. To preserve the purity of their soul and prevent them from being drawn into unhealthy relationships, God sometimes allows chosen ones to experience isolation and loneliness. Negative influences can come in many forms: toxic friendships, unhealthy romantic relationships, or simply environments that pull you away from your spiritual path. God's protection often comes in the form of loneliness, as He separates you from those who might corrupt or lead you astray. Like a shepherd who separates the sheep from the wolves, God places the chosen ones in solitude to protect their spiritual purity. This separation helps you maintain your divine purpose, allowing you to remain focused on the mission God has for you. Consider Jesus, who often withdrew from the crowds to pray and seek solitude. This time alone was not because He lacked love for others, but because He knew that His mission required periods of reflection, prayer, and focus on His divine purpose. Similarly, God may be guiding you away from certain relationships or situations not to harm you, but to protect and strengthen you. Trust in God's wisdom. He knows what is best for you, and the loneliness you experience is part of His plan to keep you safe from harm and to prepare you for the greater things He has in store. Getting a girlfriend, building self-confidence and meaningful connections. Finding a girlfriend is a journey that begins with focusing on your own personal growth and self-improvement. To start, it's important to work on building self-confidence and pursuing your passions, as well as maintaining good physical and mental health. When you take care of yourself and become the best version of who you are, you naturally become more appealing to potential partners. Expanding your social circle is also crucial. Engaging in activities and hobbies that interest you not only enriches your life but also provides opportunities to meet new people. Whether it's joining clubs, attending events, or participating in group activities, being active in various social settings can increase your chances of making meaningful connections. Strong communication skills play a significant role in forming relationships. Practice active listening, engage in meaningful conversations, and show genuine interest in others. This helps in building deeper connections and establishing a rapport with potential partners. Authenticity is another key factor rather than trying to fit into a specific image or mold. Be yourself. Genuine interactions are more likely to lead to a meaningful connection. Respect and kindness are fundamental in all interactions. Treat others with consideration and maintain a positive attitude. This not only makes a good impression, but also fosters an environment where meaningful relationships can flourish. When you meet someone you're interested in, don't hesitate to take the initiative. Start conversations, ask them out on dates, and show that you're genuinely interested in getting to know them. Building a connection involves more than just initial attraction. It requires creating a strong emotional bond through shared experiences, open communication, and mutual support. Patience is essential in developing relationships. It's important to understand that building a meaningful connection takes time, so don't rush the process. If things don't work out with someone, view rejections as learning experiences rather than failures. Each experience provides an opportunity to improve and refine your approach. Seeking feedback from friends and family can also be beneficial. They might offer valuable insights into how you come across to others and provide advice on how to enhance your approach. Ultimately, finding a meaningful relationship is about connecting with someone who values and appreciates you for who you are. By focusing on self-improvement, expanding your social network, and fostering genuine connections, you increase your chances of finding a fulfilling and lasting relationship. As we've explored in this video, being alone as a chosen one isn't a sign of weakness or failure. It's a powerful stage in your journey, a time for reflection, growth, and spiritual awakening. Without the distractions of friends or relationships, you're given the opportunity to connect deeply with your true purpose and align yourself with the path that God has laid out for you. Remember, many great leaders and spiritual figures walked this lonely road before reaching their highest potential. Your solitude is shaping you into the person you were meant to be. So the next time you feel isolated, take comfort in knowing that this is not the end, but rather the beginning of something extraordinary. Embrace the silence, trust in your journey, and keep moving forward with faith. If this video resonated with you, please like, share, and subscribe. Your support helps us continue spreading these important messages, and together, we can inspire more chosen ones to stay strong on their path. See you in the next video.